you are a music composer, you're a songwriter, entrepreneur, innovator, speaker, and animal rights propagator, actively involved in movements for social justice and empowerment. You were the vice president of the All India Film Employees Confederation. You run an animal protection organization in Mumbai called TINT. You have done music for 130 TV shows, 30 web series, 25,000 episodes. How does one even do this?
At one point in time, I was doing music for 14 daily shows.
You've received over 200 international awards. Getting an award became your second nature. Was it like that? अरे award तो मिलेगा ही, हमने जो बनाया है. You've made music for Balika Vadhu?
Yes.
Like I have dubbed in Balika Vadhu, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
In English.
Wow.
So it was dubbed in English
never knew
for
that.
South African market.
Then at the age of 19, I became the youngest general secretary of the Cine Musicians Association. So at the age of 19, I was sitting there and all these big musicians in front of me. And I am supposed to kind of tell them what to do, and they don't really take kindly to it. That this 19-year-old boy is going to tell us that experience, like standing up not only to my father at one point earlier, who was an extremely strong individual, meaning as strong and fiery as they come. It was like literally battling the dragon, and I can't imagine a life without music.
You can't imagine a life without music.
Music is a language that I speak. This month I am releasing an album.
Oh.
Yeah, which explains 8 mantras from the Vedas in English. And you'll have heard those mantras so many times, but probably a lot of people won't even know what they mean. At least the people that I met didn't. But they're extremely famous ones.
What's the toughest decision you've ever made?
I guess falling in love again. I traveled to Dubai to meet Jo after I fell in love with her here. And I did all my best because at that point in time, one of the sheikhs there had died and there was no tickets or visas available. So I did my best, got a visa, went there and I surprised her from India. That was pretty outrageous.
ये सब लड़कियां रो रही हैं. ऐसे लड़के कहाँ मिलते हैं आजकल? Hi Aashish.
Hi Barkha, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for coming for my podcast.
Most welcome. Pleasure's all mine.
Oh my God. I'm so thrilled to be talking to you. I've known you for a while now. And yeah, you were
But
saying...
have you really known me for a while?
No.
Okay.
Like I've been acquainted with you. We've been acquaintances.
Yeah.
And in that only I know so much about you. I mean, I know about the kinder side of yours.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I'm fascinated by it. And besides that, I also know, and I'll have to read it out because there's a list that you are a music composer, you're a songwriter, entrepreneur, innovator, speaker, and animal rights propagator, actively involved in movements for social justice and empowerment. That's a lot of work that you do.
Well, I mean, I believe nothing is impossible if you have the passion to do it. And a lot of those things resonate with me. And I'm very passionate about them. Which is why I keep doing whatever I can.
That's wonderful. And I can hear the grains in your voice even without the headphones.
That's nice.
Oh my God. Okay. You are the General Secretary of the Music Composers Association of India?
I was.
You were. And on the board of directors of the Indian Performing Rights Society?
I was.
Okay. And you also were the treasurer of the Federation of Western India Cine Employees?
That you got right.
Yes, thank God for that. And you were the vice president of the All India Film Employees Confederation?
I think now you're just changing all the present tense to the past
Oh, are you
automatically.
still?
Yeah? No, I'm not.
No, then I was right.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's one thing I'm going to be right about.
Okay.
Which is you run an animal protection organization in Mumbai called TINT.
Bang on.
And I'm a fan. I'm a fan
you.
of the work. And I'm so grateful that I'm a part of that WhatsApp group in which, like, every hour, an animal is being rescued from some part of not only Mumbai, I mean Nashik, Nagpur, Thane. Oh my God. What a strong network of people and such kind people.
Yes, I mean, I must say that we are blessed to have such a beautiful team and passionate animal rescuers and activists all over. And nothing could be accomplished without such a beautiful team of such beautiful people. And thank you also for being such an active member of that group.
Thank
even when
you.
it comes to rescuing, contributing in every which way. And it's only because of people like you that we are able to accomplish what we do.
Wow, wow. But then, no, so I'm not going to talk about that right now.
Okay.
I'm going to still go back to the music part
Sure.
because there's so much to talk about that. You have done music for 130 TV shows,
Yes, that is right.
30 web series,
Correct.
25,000 episodes.
Right.
How does one even do this? I mean, kaise, kaise?
Well, most of the work that I did, evolved a system to do the work. So it's not physically possible for one person to accomplish all that. Again, you need a team. So building a strong team, leveraging on that team, I was able to accomplish all that. At one point in time, I was doing music for 14 daily soaps.
Wow.
So being able to do quality control, monitor aspects of the show, you need to set up a system. So setting up systems is basically the hallmark of an entrepreneur. Yeah, so along with being a music composer, I also became an entrepreneur in the process.
Yes, yes.
And I got initiated by necessity into being an entrepreneur.
Yes, because there was so much work pouring
Because there
in.
was so much work. Either I refused the work
Yeah.
or I evolved a system to be able to accomplish it. So I chose the latter.
Okay.
And that's how I learned to do it. And that's why how I was able to even do so many TV shows at simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah. So, how many people are involved with you when it comes to music for so many?
We have actually, at the time when we was doing so many shows, we had compartmentalized the work into different departments, like you have in a company. So we had the manufacturing. The manufacturing is where the tracks used to be made.
Yes.
Then we had the assembly line. So
Okay.
when the episodes used to come, there's another department that used to take those tracks and assemble them in sync with the episodes. Prior to that, we had the R&D, which I used to take care of personally, which is designing the sound set for each show, composing the main themes, melodies, and setting the sound for the show.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And that's how we were able to accomplish so much, because
Yeah.
each person had their own specialty and they were able to deliver, even without being connected with the other, the quality that was required for that TV show.
Okay, wonderful. And in doing all of this, you've received over 200 international awards.
Yes. I have,
Like getting an award became your second nature. Was it like that? अरे award तो मिलेगा ही, हमने जो बनाया है.
ऐसा नहीं है.
Okay.
See, the thing is that I was blessed actually. And this entire multiplicity of awards happened during the COVID period.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not a long time back. I mean, like very
Well,
recent.
I got awards for background score from quite a long time back, yes. But there are very few avenues to achieve awards in background score in India. But during COVID, what happened is we suddenly had a lot of time. And that point in time, I set up to do what I really wanted to do. Make the songs that I really wanted to do. I never had the time to do so before.
Okay.
And evolve themes around songs that I could do for myself, which were closer to my heart. Like Jago Zara. It's about awakening. Then I See the Light. Again, about awareness. Then we did Vande Matram with 100 composers and singers from across India, prominent ones. And that was about the spirit of collaboration and not competition.
Yes.
And each of these songs is unique in itself. And the international festivals really appreciated these songs. And that's how I was blessed with these awards.
Wow. Wow. And such a lot of collaboration.
Yes, I believe that each person has something to add. It may not, people may think something is a small contribution, but every contribution matters. And that spirit of contribution and collaboration is basically that I tap into from others. It's not me who's got those awards. It's basically the entire team together. That's how that award is possible. So each and every member of the team is responsible for that award.
You know what, Ashish? You could have conveniently chosen to take the credit, but you didn't.
Yeah, because I know it's not right.
It's
And
not right. And you honor that. that.
I do honor that because integrity is one of my prime values.
Wow. There's so much to learn from you, Ashish. Thank you so much for this. Like genuinely. It's not acting. Okay. Coming to you've made music for Balika Vadhu.
Yes.
Like I have dubbed in Balika Vadhu,
Oh, that's awesome.
in English.
Wow.
So it was dubbed in
I never
English
knew
for
that.
South African market.
Oh, yeah. I got royalties from there.
Oh, you
I
did?
don't know. Thank you for that.
No, I was just I'm an artist, so
Yeah, I know.
it was for someone else. You have also done music for Savdhan India,
Yes.
Crime Patrol,
Yeah.
Diya Aur Baati Hum. Like
Yes.
these are such popular shows, Ashish.
Yes.
And everybody loves these shows and loves the music. So this is commendable.
Thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
that.
Yeah. So where were you born and brought up?
I was born and brought up in Mumbai.
You're a Mumbaiker.
I'm a Mumbaiker right from the
Okay.
beginning. Santa
Okay.
Cruz.
Okay.
And went to school at St. Xavier's Villapale.
Okay.
College at St. Xavier's Babitalau.
Okay.
So I'm a Xavierite also.
Yes.
Through and through.
Yeah. So, did you always want to be a musician, a music in the field of music, or was it something after a lot of thought? How did you decide?
Most things in my life have happened randomly. And the universe has a huge role to play in everything, I guess. And my mom always wanted to be a violinist,
Okay.
but she could never have any formal training. So she got me started on the violin.
Do you still play?
Off and on,
Oh.
but I don't play professionally anymore.
Okay.
And I started learning the violin, and then one day I got the opportunity to go and watch a concert because I had entered in for a competition at Dadar Music Ensemble, and I qualified to win a prize for their
Okay.
annual competition. I was all of 10 at that time,
Okay.
10 years old.
Yeah.
And I was so excited, and I went and I saw this big orchestra playing there, and there was this guy waving the stick who was conducting them, and said, "Wow!" So that's a place I want to be in.
Okay.
So after the concert, my father, who was extremely daring, took me backstage and made me meet that person.
Wow.
And that person was Pave's doctor, who went on to be my guru, my teacher. And he took me up, and I was blessed to learn under him. And he played a huge role in whatever I am today.
Okay.
Not only in terms of music, but in terms of spirituality also.
Spirituality.
Yes, because he was an extremely spiritual person.
Okay. So, but your mother's dream, your father's support,
Yes.
that gave you a push in this direction.
That gave me a push.
Yeah. So you do give credit to your parents for that.
Obviously. I mean, I would be nothing today if not for them.
So it's so important to have supportive parents, Ashish.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
the thing is that they supported me at that time. And but when it came later to taking up music as a career, my mom supported me. My dad didn't really go well with that idea.
Okay.
So I had to fight him to become a musician.
But you fought.
I did.
That's the good part.
Yes, I did.
That you fought even with your. I think it's the most difficult thing to do, to fight the people you love the most,
Yeah.
and to stand up for your wishes and dreams. So, but you did that. That's commendable.
And I feel that in every person's life there'll come a time where you have to do that and stand up for what you believe in and what you really, really want. And that was one of the places in my life where I needed to do that, and I did it.
So how long did you learn the violin?
Oh, well, I maybe about 10 years, 12 years.
Wow.
I learned and I kept learning. And after Mr. Doctor, I had a teacher from the Czech Republic, Ivo Sedlacek, who taught me for another 2 years. So I kept fine-tuning my skills. And every time I played in the orchestra, I kept learning.
Okay.
So every moment is a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
It's just that what you take from what is going on around you rather than depending on a teacher to teach you. It's the lessons you learn at every given point in time. So as you are a good receptor to those lessons, you keep learning.
Yes. So, but you never pursued it professionally.
I did.
You did.
Yeah, I that is another adventure because I used to keep playing in the orchestra, and we had a lot of players from the film industry there.
Okay.
Now, one day they happened to have a shortage for a recording, and someone asked me, "Would you like to come and play for a recording?"
Hmm.
I was, I think, all of 18 at that time.
Wow.
And I said, yeah, why not?
Hmm.
So I remember this first recording for a music composer called Ashok Panchal.
Hmm.
And this was at Mehboob Studio.
Okay.
So I went to Mehboob Studio, and there was entire big 100-piece orchestra at that point in time. So it was huge.
Hmm.
So many people playing instruments, and I was sitting there playing. And because of my orchestral training, I had good sight reading. Sight reading is basically you only get the manuscript at the moment of the recording. You get time to practice it, and then you play straight.
Okay.
It's no days of rehearsal or anything.
Okay.
So I could manage it. So someone saw me there and they said, tomorrow there's a recording. Would you like to come here itself? I said, okay, great. And next day it turned out to be a recording for Lakshmikant Pyarlalji.
Wow.
And I was like intimidated. I said, wow, I mean, legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to play for them. And then that day somebody saw and said, there's another recording the next day. So it's at Sudeep's studio. So would you like to come? It's for a background. So right now I had played for song recordings. So I said, okay. And went there. And this was for the film Dil Hai Ke Manta Nahi.
What?
Yeah. So starring Pooja Bhatt and all. Like, I'm looking,
Of
wow.
course, you've like grown up watching that film.
Yeah. So I played for that
Wow.
background that one day. And then I asked, what next? Saying, nothing, you go home. So after that, there was no recordings for a long, long time.
Okay. Okay.
But then I got into the groove. I had got a taste of the industry, and I realized that this is something I really want to do.
Okay.
So I graduated in microbiology and
You
biochemistry.
graduated in microbiology?
Yeah, I did my MSc after that.
Oh my god.
Then I pursued-
What all we do to live the life we want. What all we go through, yeah.
Oh, those were my hobbies. Then.
What, microbiology was your hobby?
Yeah. Then after that, I did law. That also was my hobby.
Okay.
But music was always my profession.
Of course. यार ये ना तुम लोग सुन लो यार. Music was profession, microbiology and law were hobbies. ये भी possible है. ठीक है? Yeah.
Then at the age of 19, I became the youngest general secretary of the Cine Musicians Association.
At the youngest general secretary. At the age of 19.
Yes.
19 में मैं क्या कर रही थी?
So at the age of 19, I was sitting there and all these big musicians in front of me, and I am supposed to kind of tell them what to do, and they don't really take kindly to it that this 19-year-old boy is going to tell us what we are
Yeah.
supposed to do. I mean, but I got trained by fire. So that experience, like standing up not only to my father at one point earlier, who was an extremely strong individual, meaning as strong and fiery as they come. It was like literally battling the dragon. And after that, standing up for what I believed in with these people who were stalwarts of the industry, and but really didn't hold integrity as much as dear as I did. So I had to stand up to them, and I did that. So these incidents and training experiences, I would say, kind of molded me into the character that I am today.
Yeah, you were just 19 when you had to do this.
Yep.
Wow.
So I guess the earlier you learn in life, the further you can go.
The earlier you learn in life, the further you can go. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay. So you were 19 and you became the general secretary here.
Yeah.
How was your experience over there?
Well, I did my best to streamline whatever was happening. And I saw there was a lot of things that shouldn't be happening the way it was.
Okay.
And I did my best for the next 4 years or 5 years. 5 years I was general secretary there. And because I saw what was coming, and I saw that if people didn't change, then things were going to take a turn for the worse. And it did. At that point in time, it was a period in the music industry where keyboards had come in a big way, and musicians were getting out of work. So I attempted to bring in certain changes in work patterns, stuff like that. But the problem with people is themselves.
Hmm.
Most people don't see what is good for them. Most people don't have the vision. They don't realize their actions today are responsible for what happens tomorrow.
Yep.
And that's what happened there. They just didn't see it. They didn't see what was coming. And most of them are out of work today.
Oh.
But for me, I adapted from there, became a music composer, and then down the line became the General Secretary of the Music Composers Association. Again, there was another adversity happening there at that time because of the copyright battle which was being fought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because composers weren't getting royalties.
Yes, I had read about it in the newspapers,
Yeah.
and there were debates on TV.
Yes, absolutely. So,
Yeah. I think Mr. Javed Akhtar was
yeah,
spearheading
he was
it.
spearheading it
Yeah.
at that point in time. And because of his efforts and the efforts of a lot of seniors and our team that we had at MCI, we were able to achieve what we did. And the Copyright Act was amended. And royalties, we started receiving royalties after that.
Wow.
But that was again a huge battle. So
Yeah.
I've been like in the midst of various battles in life and have only grown from it.
So, are you the sort of person who invites battles?
I think maybe battles invite me. Could be both ways.
Okay.
But the fact is, I don't invite battles, but it's just that I have a very strong sense of justice as one of my values. And I really can't stand injustice.
You can't stand injustice.
Yes.
Yes.
So at some point in time, I have had to battle my collaborators also, fight the battles within the organizations and without. And it's the battles within the organizations that really kill you. Because these are the people you fought with to fight them again. At one point in time, I took a stand against Mr. Javed Akhtar also.
Oh. Okay.
So you got to do what you got to do.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So, we are sitting right now in your music studio, and we are
Yes.
doing the the podcast here. When did this come to fruition? When was it that you decided that you've got to make a music studio? And because a music studio is not only for yourself,
Right.
there are going to be other people who would want to come and record. So it's a community space, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when did you decide about this?
So this is my third music studio.
Oh,
My first music studio was at Lakshmi Plaza.
okay.
Yeah. There I produced 2 films.
Okay.
And at the end of the second film, I had to sell the music studio
Okay.
because I lost a lot of money in the films.
Okay.
So then I took another place at Adarsh Nagar and there I made my next music studio.
Okay.
And then post that, we took up this place and we made this music studio. This place is from 2014. And since then, for the past 10 years, we've been here
Okay.
and working here. It's a lovely place.
Yeah.
A lot of people come here and work.
It's a beautiful studio. I
And
have also recorded here, so I know.
Great.
So, after the first studio shut,
Right.
why did you open up another one? Why didn't you just think of अब ये तो चलाने ही जाने दो, कुछ और करते हैं?
See, music was always there for me. Yeah. And I can't imagine a life without music.
You can't imagine a life without music. That's the kind of love that you have
Yeah.
for music.
Because
Okay.
everything is about vibrations. Yeah, in life, energy vibrates.
Yes.
If you don't vibrate, you're not alive. Music is a language that I speak. And I can express myself best through. So the second studio was only a matter of time and an eventuality. It was not whether, it was just when.
Okay. Just when?
Yeah. The first studio, the night I had to leave it, I spent the entire night there crying.
Oh, of course.
It was
Yeah.
a very emotional moment for me because that's what, when you get attached to something so much, the lesson is that don't get attached to the material. Get attached to the energy because material keeps changing. Energy will be with you forever.
Is it correct for people also?
Absolutely.
How do you practice non-attachment with people?
Yeah, asking very tricky questions.
Okay. That's my
Okay.
job.
So let me put this in this way. Now, attachment is you have a very select people that I have very select people that I let into my internal core space. As human, it's not possible to be completely detached.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously there is an attachment to them. But for everybody else, there is empathy. There's a difference between attachment and empathy. And I have both attachment and empathy for animals also. But I have buried so many of my little ones that gradually I have learned to detach in a certain way. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible for me to sustain through that emotion.
So, what I gather from this is going through the pain every single time, accepting the pain, has helped you detach from the pain and the source of pain.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Oh my God.
You should
I like
speak,
that.
you know. I mean,
I like
you have
speaking.
such
That's why I'm speaking,
deep philosophical opinions. Yeah. Yeah, but very well put.
Thank you very much. I'm going to, usko kya bolte hai? Trademark this and I'll
The
keep.
only way to the other side is through the pain.
Yes.
Pain is eventual, suffering is optional.
Pain is eventual. Suffering, yes. I got competition. No. You're absolutely so. Suffering is a choice.
Suffering is a choice.
Yeah, and it is so unfortunate. I feel that our culture, the what we have made our culture to be in India, suffering is it is kind of propagated. Sacrifice, suffering, and killing your own desires, and then suffering and sacrificing in that. And I think all of us are. We could have done better as a country had we not, propagated this. We had propagated self-love along with doing for others. I think that would have been great.
Well, I would say that it's a matter of the truth and digging the layers that are necessary to get to that truth. If we even go back to the ancient texts like the Vedas, the truth is all there. It's just that we don't bother to read that. And we just go about with our conditioning, which is a huge distortion of the actual truth. And the conditioning goes into mostly ritualistic pursuits, which have lost all the meaning that they originally intended. And the original meaning of those mantras is lost.
Yeah, true.
And this month I'm releasing an album,
Oh,
which explains 8 mantras from the Vedas.
wow.
Yeah, in English. And you'll have heard those mantras so many times, but probably a lot of people won't even know what they mean. At least the people that I met didn't. But they are extremely famous ones.
Okay.
So I'll share you the link when
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm the
releasing
link
that.
would be below in the description, okay, for you to check out. So, are you religious?
No.
Your name is Aashish Rego.
Yes.
So, you're a Christian, is it?
By birth.
By birth, you're a Christian. What
Yes.
is the Aashish about?
Well, I would say that that's my purpose.
Could you explain?
Okay. So Ashish means blessing.
Yeah.
So my purpose is to be a blessing.
Oh. So, who gave you this name, Aashish?
My dad gave it to me. He liked it somehow.
Okay.
But I believe nothing happens by coincidence. And that defined me and defines me today. As much as I can bless and be a blessing, that's my purpose, contribution.
Okay. That's wonderful, Aashish. You are a blessing, and I know it. Like, personally, I know it.
Thank you.
So, I wanted to ask you about your animal rescue organization, Tint, and the fact that you have how many cats in your studio?
Right now, 30 cats here.
30 rescued cats in Ashish's studio. And how many at your home?
At my home, I have 13 cats
13 at home.
and 5 dogs there. In the studio, I have 3 dogs.
3 dogs in the studio, okay.
And at our shelter, we have 30 cats and 30 dogs.
60 animals in the shelter.
Yeah.
How did this start? I mean, you were already a music composer.
Yeah.
You were already a part of all these organizations that are making policies for, such important things happening in the country.
Right.
Why did you have to start an animal rescue organization?
So I always had a liking for animals, but my wife Jo didn't share that as much. She was a little frightened of them due to some childhood experiences.
Okay.
So there was a time when a mutual friend wanted to gift us a dog, and she accepted very apprehensively. And once a dog came into our life just changed.
How?
Well, it became the binding force in the entire house, what knit us into a family. And every morning he used to wake us up, and I used to go feed him, take him for a walk, stuff like that. And then we got a boy in the house to do that because sometimes I used to come really late and couldn't get up early mornings. So every Sunday I used to make it a point to get up and take him for a walk. His name is Prince. And one Sunday we were going for a walk, and he started barking and going ahead, and we saw this white bird which was lying on the road, and there were crows which were pecking at it,
Oh,
but it was still alive.
my God.
So I took it home and we tried to revive it, but it died.
So, had you done this before?
No, this is the first time.
It was the first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we buried the bird in the garden down. And next Sunday again I took Prince out. And that Sunday we saw this baby crow which had fallen from its nest. Again Prince found it. So I took the baby crow home, took it to the vet, stuff like that. But crows don't function well in captivity. So it was there with us for 5-6 days and then it died.
Okay.
So third Sunday I didn't take Prince down for a walk because I said every Sunday I'm getting some animal or the other. And I was standing in my kitchen window and I heard a squeaking sound. And I saw on the window grill, there was this little squirrel baby that was stuck.
Oh my God.
So somehow we managed to unfasten it from the grill and got it in. We named it Squeaky.
Okay.
Incidentally, just 2 days back, I shared a video. This was 9 years back,
Okay.
where Squeaky was just playing around. And we kept him again for a week, but he also passed away.
Okay.
But this time I realized that whether I go down or not, animals in distress are going to keep calling. And I realized that my purpose was to answer their call.
Wow.
So no animal that is in distress ever goes without aid. That is a policy of our organization.
Yes, and I'm a witness to it. I see it every day. I'm a part of that WhatsApp group in which every hour there are at least 3 distress calls, and they're like tended to immediately. There's always someone, and there have been so many times when you personally have gone out and picked up. And in my case, so I want to narrate this little incident. So I used to go for morning walks, and there was this one time I was walking by a restaurant, and there was a dog which was squealing badly, and I saw that the dog had a wound, and I immediately called you. And Ashish came early in the morning, took the dog to the vet, and we found that there were maggots eating up the skin of the dog, and there was a big wound. And immediately, first aid was given. And later, it was discovered that a little more had to be done. So you picked up the dog and you took the dog to the vet, and you took care of the dog. Like, I was so scared. I was scared that the dog would bite me. You weren't scared. You were so compassionate. You didn't think about अरे इतना गंदा है मेरे कपड़े गंदे हो जाएंगे. कुछ नहीं. You took the dog. You placed the dog on the table in the vet's clinic, and you made sure that first aid was given, and then we gave the dog for fostering, and after that I left, I was out of station, you made sure that the dog was taken care of. So I mean, this was one dog and you do it for all the babies, as you know they're addressed as on the group. I see it, so that's commendable, Ashish. That's so kind of you.
So
That's so kind of you.
that's because I regard all of them as my children. And when you look at people as your children, then there is only unconditional love there. And for me, it doesn't matter that it is dirty or not. It's a soul.
Yeah.
It's life.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, nothing else matters.
What would you like to say about the people who hate animals? Do you have an opinion or something related to that psychology? I don't know.
Nothing, only compassion for them.
Compassion for them?
Because they don't know what they're missing. And to be able to love an animal is a blessing in itself. And if I can love an animal, I'm truly blessed. And that is a wonderful feeling to have, to experience love for the animal and from the animal. Both ways. See the gratitude in that animal's eyes when it sees that it is being helped, it has asked for help and received it.
Wow. And how many people are running Tint?
We have a total team size of around 8 to 10 people.
Okay.
But there are 4 core members in the team who function. There's Shreya, Shreya Prabhu, there's Sonali Parwal, there's Dr. Chaudhary, and myself,
Okay.
4 of us. Then we have a board of trustees who are also responsible for bringing in donations and funds and other things, and are also active in their own way in propagating. We have Prachi Mayakar, who's a transformational coach. We have Aziz Pirani, who's a restaurateur. Then we have Kanchan Todi, who's again a social activist and artist. We have Chirag Shah, Dr. Chirag Shah, who's a IT specialist, who's a CTO of various big companies. And we have Namrata Takkar, who's again an entrepreneur and a startup funder.
Oh.
So we have these people who are on the board. And everything is possible only because of the love, support of all of these people into the projects that we do.
It's wonderful to know that there are so many people who are kind.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. There are.
So where I see unkindness, there is also kindness. And let's talk more about, kindness and being kind.
Let's look upon unkindness as only a transition.
Okay.
To kindness.
Wow. That's so wonderfully put. I think we can have a war of, putting things in perspective.
Why war when there can be love?
I'll die, Ashish. Okay. So you do so many things, okay, and you've won so many accolades for so many things. And you're so kind-hearted. But how has your perspective on the world changed over the years? Has it become positive or negative? What do you think about the world in general?
Well, I believe that everything is as it should be.
Okay.
There is always a state of balance. It's our perspective which is imbalanced because of the bias we have. And if we feel that something should change, then all we need to do is be the change. Because the only change we can have is within ourselves.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do to bring about this change within yourself?
Well, I keep reading. I keep meeting people.
Reading what? I mean, could you give an example? I mean, if people would want to know.
So right now I'm reading this book by Dr. Joe Dispenza, which is called Breaking the Habit of Being You.
Okay.
It's an amazing book. He's also written another book called Becoming Supernatural,
Okay.
where he says the only way to become a supernatural is keep doing the unnatural so many times that you become supernatural.
Okay. Unnatural ka matlab ye hua, what doesn't come naturally to you, is it?
No, what is not perceived as
What is not
natural.
perceived as natural?
Because we are creatures of conditioning.
Yes.
We become what the environment around us, what do you call, nudges us into being, or sometimes pushes us into being.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we forget what our true selves are. So at that point in time, what comes naturally to us because of our true self is different from what comes naturally to us because of our conditioning. So we must be able to understand and be aware of that difference.
But it's not easy to understand that difference. Where does conditioning end and where is this self knowledge beginning?
Yeah, so that comes through meditation.
Through meditation. You meditate?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is there a certain kind of meditation that you do?
Well, I wouldn't label the meditation, but as my friend Prachi puts it very well, prayer is your conversation with God,
Yeah.
and meditation is God's conversation with
With
you.
you. Wow. कितने aha moments हो रहे हैं ना?
So in that time when you are open to receiving,
Yeah.
you get a lot of wisdom from the divine.
Yeah.
And just imbibing that helps me through anything in life.
But Ashish, aren't you a Christian?
You asked that question a second time.
Yeah.
I would say all religions
Huh.
have the same message at the end of it. At the end of the path, there are different paths to the same goal. And Jesus Christ said, the truth shall set you free.
Yeah.
But what is the truth? It's something it takes not just one lifetime, but lifetimes to understand. And the Buddha said, desire is the root of all pain. Shri Krishna said, Karmanye vadikaraste mahafalishu kadachanam. You only have the right to your action.
Yep.
You don't have the right to the fruits of that action.
So my question here would be, though you're a Christian, how come you've been open to the spiritual concepts that you're so easily explaining to me?
That's because I've been reading so much since my childhood. And I've
So
been
there was this, your parents encouraged you to.
But my mom narrated the Ramayana to me when I was
Wow.
small, and she used to put me to sleep. So all credit to her for that. Despite
Okay.
being a Christian, she taught me the Ramayana. And most of my friends around me were from other religions because I didn't have very many Christians in the place where I was. So I got exposed to a lot of different cultures. I used to be invited into their house to eat with them, play with them. And I always, I feel I was blessed to just have that experience
Yeah.
of so many different religions, so many different cultures, that I could appreciate all these things about each and be open to those religions. And religion is just, according to me, a pathway to the final destination. That final destination is only love. So when you practice love as a religion, you can't go wrong.
So these are like very generic questions, but they're important from the perspective of spirituality.
Sure.
What's the one thing you would change about the society if you could?
As I said earlier, everything is the way it should be. So only thing I would change is me.
Speechless. I mean, I should gauge by now that you're fearless, but still, sometimes deep inside we have some fear. Do you have one?
I can't put a finger on the fear I have because probably fear of losing a loved one, maybe, or loved ones. That is there at some point in time, but I don't really focus on those things. So the fear doesn't really exist until you ask me the question.
Okay.
So I don't think of anything I'm afraid of. Because one thing in life I've learned is there's nothing is served by being fearful of anything. So I don't really focus on my fears. And overcoming your fear is the path to success. The only way to the other side is when you overcome those fears.
Yes. Overcoming the
Yeah.
fears. But then for that, you have to identify your fears also, no?
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But I have identified a lot of fears which I have had in the past.
In the past,
Fear
you've
of
had.
fear
yeah.
of speaking in public.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was one of my biggest fears.
Okay. I think you've done a very, very good job on yourself, Ashish.
Thank you.
I mean, this is public content.
Really? People are going to be seeing this. Oh my God.
Oh, really? Yeah. So very well done.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank
Good
you.
job. How do you define happiness, and have you found it?
I'm finding it in every moment. And I'm always happy. I'm blessed. Whatever I have, whatever I am, I'm happy. So I would define happiness as a state of awareness where one realizes how truly blessed they are to be where and who they are.
Gratitude.
Gratitude, a state of gratitude, a state of happiness.
Wow. What's the toughest decision you've ever made?
I guess falling in love again.
Oh, I think every girl who's watching it right now is, agreeing with you. If, like, you have made this tough decision of falling in love again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes courage to do that.
Yeah.
But you don't stop loving.
How do you not stop loving?
That's what I'm saying. You don't stop loving.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, I'm moving ahead.
You can do another podcast on that.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do a lot of podcasts with you whenever you find the time, that is.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you think life is complicated?
Life is only as complicated as we make it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Okay.
it's extremely simple.
Okay.
And people complicate everything. Life of animals is pretty sorted.
Yes.
Pretty simple. They just know what to do. And they have very simple needs. We have complicated our needs and woven a web around what we perceive that we need. That's why things get complicated.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen this web series on simplification, where people have just given up on their whatever they have in the house. They keep reducing it. So they reduce their needs day by day. And life becomes so simple and sorted.
So I think I am one of those people who's reducing the stuff and, the dependence on people and things.
Yeah, you
Like
lost
on
weight.
I would really appreciate if you lose some.
I know. Touche. Touche.
Okay. Do you have a go-to person if you are ever stuck in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I have many go-to persons. I mean, a few go-to persons at least. And my wife is my best friend.
Wow.
Joe has been my support, my anchor. And she was just peeping into the window and she just went.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that because she was peeping.
Who's
She
to
truly
tell?
is.
Who's to tell?
So
No, I know. I've seen the two of you. Like, you have your studio here. She has her salon right next door.
Yeah, we're neighbors.
Yeah, your neighbors. Like, I mean, touch wood. But, when we see the two of you from afar, we feel that you're two people who are growing together or have grown together.
Yeah.
And, to be able to have your own businesses.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That too next to each other.
Next to each other.
It's a luxury.
Yeah, I mean,
And then I have this entire mastermind group of mine. We meet every Saturday. There are around 15 of us from different walks of life who've excelled in their own fields. And we have a session from around 8:30 to 12:30 every Saturday, where we meet, we discuss ideas, philosophies, experiences, and grow together.
wow. And how long has this been going on?
Over 7 years.
7 years.
Yes.
Wow, there must have been a lot of sharing and growth just by this weekly.
I can't even begin to describe it.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's exponential evolution, I would say, where each of us exponentially evolves by understanding and being aware of the learnings and experiences of others. Because we can only experience this much. But when we have the sharing of other people that we trust and cherish, we learn from the experience of multiple people. Also, understanding and awareness, when we share each one's perspective, we get a multiplicity of perspectives of different philosophies and experiences.
But then you have to be very open-minded also to be able to accept other people's perspectives.
Well, we are only open when we are in the mastermind.
Okay.
There are a lot of experiences shared there which even we cannot share at home or will not share at home.
Okay.
Because that's a safe and sacred space for us.
It's like at one of those groups. Huh? AA meetings?
I mean, that doesn't even touch the surface. Say,
तो
"Hey,
आप लोग ने ऐसे क्या अपने हाथ से खून निकाल के एक दूसरे के हाथ में वो करके ऐसे किया था
वो तो
कि
फिल्मीगिरी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. See, it's all about trust,
yeah,
and
trust.
trust is earned over time.
Trust is earned over time. अगर वो तुमको ट्रस्ट नहीं करते हैं तो तुम नहीं हो इस लायक, ठीक है?
Simple बात है.
Yeah.
So each of us have earned the trust with the other, where we can share things with each other. And
But then to start also you needed that trust, right?
yes,
Yeah. So
so
there was trust.
we all actually met at this organization called Success Gyan,
Okay.
and we did a course called Millionaire Mind Intensive together,
Okay.
and we bonded there.
So you did a course also.
Yeah, and we never knew each other then.
Okay.
We just kind of met there, we hit it off, and we all were from Bombay. We did the course in Chennai, Bangalore. It had various places where it was.
Okay.
And there
How
was
long back was 7 years back?
more than 8 years back.
8 years
and from
back.
then we met in Mumbai, and we decided to keep meeting
Okay.
and see where it took us.
So which means you did not stop learning.
We never stopped learning, and we never will stop learning.
Okay. It's
We keep
important
learning.
to keep learning, educating yourself and growing.
If you realize that the only change is within us, then that is extremely important. Learn and grow, learn and grow.
So I was wondering, where would this idea have, come in our society, where after a certain age, there's no point learning, there's no point growing because now you're this age.
It's the dangers of conditioning. We are ageless.
We are ageless. You believe that?
Yes, the only age.
I believe that too.
The only age is within our mind. I mean, I feel like a teenager or a kid sometimes. It's just about how you feel about yourself.
That's wonderful. What's an unusual skill or talent you wished you had?
Dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
मैंने तो देखा आपको नाचते हुए जो के साथ न्यू ईयर
मैं तो कुछ भी
दिवाली
करता
पार्टी
था।
पे
बंदर से-
महबूबा पे जो was dancing, she was the महबूबा
Yeah,
and
but
नीचे बैठ के ऐसे
I'd love to do the salsa with her.
oh
Yeah.
okay, but have you learnt a little?
No, she's an expert on the salsa.
She's an expert.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one thing on my bucket list which I want to do.
Wow, I wish you all the best. May you do it soon.
Thank you.
What's the most outrageous thing you have done for work? Outrageous.
Work.
Yeah.
In terms of in music or to get the work?
Anything. If it's outrageous, it's outrageous.
Like off the cuff, I don't really remember.
Then you mustn't
anything.
have done.
No, I would have done because I can.
You
be
are that
pretty,
kind of person who
I'm that
keeps
kind of
doing-
person. I just can't remember it right now.
It's my nature to keep doing outrageous things. So my whole
Yeah.
life has been outrageous. So which part do you want? Is that what's going on in your
I
head?
have a friend whose name is Lincia, who's an outrageousness coach.
Oh.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
Outrageousness
she
coach?
keeps
I mean, are you saying
encouraging.
this-
She keeps encouraging all of us to do outrageous things.
Okay, you're saying this seriously, right?
Seriously, yeah.
Okay.
So, nothing that I can think of right now, but we'll come back to that.
Outrageous thing that you've done in love.
In love, oh, okay.
अरे तो बहुत किए हैं कौन सा वाला बताऊं
So, again, it comes back to the previous one, like falling in love again. So, I traveled to Dubai to meet Jo after I fell in love with her here. And I did all my best because at that point in time, one of the sheikhs there had died and there was no tickets or visas available. So I did my best, got a visa, went there and I surprised her from India. And that was pretty outrageous.
ये सब लड़कियां रो रही हैं ऐसे लड़के कहाँ मिलते हैं आजकल Wow. How long back was this? How many years have you been married?
We were married for 18 years.
18 years. Wow. Okay.
We just turned adult.
Yeah. So that's a lot of growing together,
growing
actually.
together, yeah, there is.
That's beautiful.
We have grown together. And
That's beautiful.
the beautiful part about a relationship is again the trust
Yeah.
and the mutual respect we have for each other.
Yeah.
Apart from the love we share.
आंसू आ रहे हैं मेरे. Okay. How about friendship? If you've done something outrageous in friendship.
You're asking pretty outrageous questions. I must say.
Just for the podcast.
So there's one more thing I did outrageous. This girl I had a crush on long back. I mean, she became my friend, but I still did something outrageous. So it wasn't for friendship. So she knows about
I'm
this.
sure
Yeah,
she must
knows
know
about
about
this.
it, yeah.
And so she was in my band, and I wanted to.
You had a band?
Yeah,
When
long
were you
back.
when were you thinking of telling us that?
See, if I am going to tell you everything, then we'll have to make a series.
Let's make a series.
Yeah.
So this is series ka episode number 1. Okay, ठीक है, we'll talk about the band later.
Yes. So I invited her for coffee, and I gave her a poem, which was around 20 verses long, written in my blood.
बाप रे.
तो मतलब
ये
वो
काफी
जो
outrageous था, आशीष.
पिक्चर जो देखते थे वहाँ पे मजनू क्या करेगा, मतलब इसको इम्प्रेस करना है, मतलब तो पूरा ही करना है भैया. तो she got psyched obviously. She thought I was some kind of
Obviously.
psycho. And then I realized ऐसा सब नहीं चलता, वो सिर्फ फिल्मों में रहता है.
ओके, समझ में आ गया आपको.
समझ में आ गया, बहुत जल्दी समझ में आ गया. See, I say do
पहली
things.
बार में ही आ गया.
See, you
Thank-
make your
thank
mistakes
God.
in life early, then you really learn from them.
You make your mistakes in life early. You really learn from them. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. It's okay.
और कोई लड़की को अपने खून में पोयम मत लिखना. पटने वाली नहीं है भाई.
So what's the craziest rumor you've heard about yourself? Craziest.
The crazy is that I was having an affair with somebody,
Okay.
and I wasn't. So
Okay.
that is the craziest. अभी क्या? और
अच्छा
क्या
ठीक है, हाँ
बोलूं?
ठीक है. मैं कहाँ कह रही हूँ कि crazy नहीं है ये. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were behaving like this perfectly normal that you're having an affair with somebody.
I mean मुझे तो ये
तुमको
लगता
तो
है
शॉक होना चाहिए. तुम शॉक क्यों नहीं हो
क्योंकि
रहे
ये बहुत ही normal rumor है
हो?
ये.
मेरे लिए crazy है क्योंकि nobody can imagine that I am having because I love Joe so much.
Oh, tears. Okay. If you could erase one past mistake, what would it be?
There are no mistakes.
There are awesome attitude. That is why you're successful, Aashish. Because there aren't any mistakes in your life. Are they learning experiences?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Jai ho. Jai hi ho. Have you ever had a life-changing revelation?
Always. Every point in time.
Every point in time.
Yeah, every day is a life-changing revolution.
You're very conscious about everything that you live through, right?
Yes, I have become that way. And
And that's how many years of meditation that has gone into it, besides
Well,
the
see,
learning.
Meditation per se, people feel that you need to sit in that posture and go into meditation. But I can go into meditation at any point in time. Like if I'm holding even a cat or a dog in my lap, I can go into meditation. And then suddenly something opens up and they act as transfers of energy. And I keep learning something new at that point in time. So any trigger or medium in life can be your source of knowledge, wisdom.
So you are very aware about that and consciously accepting everything as a...
Yes, you need to be an open receptor to learn.
Yeah.
And as long as you understand that there are so many ways to learn and so many opportunities, then you keep your receptors on.
So every moment is an opportunity to
Yes,
learn.
every moment is an opportunity to learn.
Wonderful, wonderful. What's your perspective on mental health nowadays in all fields of life? Everybody is going through a lot. That's what our
absolutely.
world has come to. What is your perspective about that?
Well, stress is the primary factor for deteriorating mental health. Erosion of values is another.
Erosion of values.
Yeah. So if people follow integrity as a primary value, they wouldn't have stress. If they define their boundaries very clearly, they wouldn't have stress. But most people fail to do that.
Why do you think they fail?
Fear of the consequences of setting those boundaries, of defining those values, which may not subscribe to somebody else's values, and they may feel rejected at that point in time.
Wow. आगे बढ़ रही हूँ मैं और ना admiration appreciation में देखती ही रह जाऊंगी. What advice would you give to someone who's silently suffering?
As I said earlier, pain is necessary.
But then
Suffering
they are
is a
suffering
choice.
silently. Huh.
See, don't be like that dog that's sitting on a nail when you can just get up and sit on the grass.
There is a choice.
There is a choice.
Make that choice.
Every moment is a choice. Make it.
Yeah. What do people misunderstand about you often?
That I'm arrogant
Okay.
because I'm reserved.
Because you're reserved. That happens with people who are
And
reserved.
I have this cocky confidence about me a lot of times.
Yes.
So people mistake that for arrogance.
For arrogance. Okay. Okay. Do you have any regrets?
None.
None. ठीक है. I get that. After all of this, I shouldn't have asked that question actually. अब लिख लिया तो पूछ लिया था. Sorry. Okay. Would you have something to tell about how to be prepared to be, for newbies who want to come into the music industry? How to be prepared to face what?
Rejection.
Rejection. Okay.
Not just newbies in the music industry, newbies in any industry. The more rejections you get, the more successful you'll be.
Wow. So many aha moments, Vidhi.
So go out and get those rejections. Yeah, because you learn something from every rejection that is there.
Yeah.
And rejection is never personal.
Rejection is never personal. How?
Don't take it personally. They're not rejecting you. Every person reacts from the biases they have. And any judgment which is placed on you is from their position of bias. Don't take it personally. If it was meant to be, it would. And if it matters, go out and get it. Do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes. That's great. What is the most common myth about music industry? Is there one?
Well, it seems like a la-la land where things are very easy, but it's as much difficult to make it in the music industry. Especially today, since there are a lot of avenues, a lot of competition, a lot of great artists out there. So nothing is as easy as it seems. You got to do the work. You got to put in what is needed, and then you are on the path to success.
Right.
No reality show is going to get you there.
No reality show is going to get you there. That is true. That is so true. How do you stay motivated?
From a sense of contribution. From the sense of, I want to contribute as much as possible. I want to be a light force that shines and lights the path for the world. So if I can be that source of light and bring happiness and relief from pain to others, that keeps me motivated all the time.
Wow. So, Ashish, I can't thank you enough for, this conversation, really.
Thank you for having me on the show.
And
I love the quality of questions you asked.
oh, thank you. Okay. So, I have come here with a sense of gratitude also for what you do for animals. And, it's crazy to see the kind of work Tint is doing. It's crazy for me.
And we are only beginning.
You are only beginning. I should say we are only beginning.
We are
because
only
I'm a part
beginning.
of
Yes,
it.
absolutely. Sorry.
Yes.
My
No,
bad.
no. मैं तो जबरदस्ती घुस रही हूँ इसमें.
नहीं, आप हो.
हाँ. तो और मैं ये भी बताना चाहती हूँ कि because of all the work that you're doing at Tint, all those rescues, it inspires me to go and make a little effort in my society. And there are so many dogs in my society. I go and meet them. I talk to them. I play with them. मैं पहले शायद ये नहीं कर पाती.
That's beautiful.
So thank you. Thank you and everybody, every beautiful soul that's a part of Tint for inspiring me. And
See, all every soul needs is a little bit of recognition. Maybe just a loving touch acts as a healing opportunity.
yeah.
Just maybe like, I'm there for you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
That's all they need at any point in time. They probably don't even need to be fed. more than they need that reassurance and that glimmer of hope that gives them the courage to face the next day.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Ashish. I'm so grateful. And हम आपसे फिर से मिलेंगे. If you would be open to having another conversation about love that we left beach में, है ना?
तो जानबूझ के छोड़ा उस point पे
Great.
to come back.
So thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Most welcome. Thank you for having me.